So today I'm going to be reviewing one of my favorite books, and it's this one right here, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. So anybody that knows me, I like to read books. I typically listen to them first, but then if I get one that I really like, I'll buy the whole hard copy, throw it on my shelf so I can actually see the words instead of just listening to them. So I really like this book because, well, like I said, it's the secrets to freedom and success. But Napoleon Hill gives a lot of good information inside of the pages. And I know a lot of people don't like to read, so I'm going to try to keep this video kind of short, but I just wanted to share with you some of the tips or principles or things that I found interesting in the book and share them with you so that you can get an idea of what it is that is in here. So I got my notes here, so I can't remember all of this, but I just had to write them down. So the first one is that we have to recognize that our beliefs drive our thoughts and our thoughts drive our actions. And this could be kind of a really hectic cycle because, if you believe negative things, it'll lead to negative thoughts, which lead to negative behavior. So if you say, for instance, you have a belief that a certain person doesn't like you, then you have thoughts about that, and then those thoughts turn into actions, which cause the person to do something that proves your point that they don't like you, and it's just kind of a vicious cycle. So our thoughts and actions are interconnected, and we have to take a look at being mindful about some of the outcomes that we're getting, and we have to be aware of outside influences and things of that nature. So for instance, a lot of people think about diet, they think about what they eat, but your diet is what you eat, what you listen to, who you're talking to, what you're talking about. And I remember there are times where let's say I have kind of a crazy dream and I get to thinking, where'd that come from? And it turns out that it was based off of maybe a conversation I had earlier in the week or the previous day, or that movie or something that I watched right before I decided to go to bed. And these kind of things really can affect your thought process and your moods, kind of like music. So if you listen to a lot of negative type music, it puts you into a negative state of mind. If you listen to happy music, then you always happy, or whatever the case may be. So just remember that we have control over our beliefs, our thoughts, and our actions. And just be mindful and think about the things that you're thinking about, and ask yourself, are these thoughts going to get me to where I want to be? Let's see, the next thing that I got out of the book is we have to take responsibility for our life and the things that we're doing, the decisions that we're making. We got to take full responsibility of those because they're ours. We can't blame people for everything. Of course, there's some things that are out of our control, but those things that we can control, we should control. Okay. One of the important things is that I learned growing up was you make a decision, and then you got to go with whatever the consequences are, either the good ones or the bad ones. Whichever one happens, you got to rock with it. And then the idea is to make the next decision a better decision to help straighten out the path of your boat where you're going. So take full control of your life by taking responsibility for it and making better decisions as time goes on. And we can learn from mistakes, which is good. You live and you learn. However, you don't always have to learn from your own mistakes. So with that decision making, talk to people that are getting things out of life that you would like to have and see where they made their mistakes. So if you come across it, you can make a better decision than they did at that time. The third thing is don't let fear control you. You want to take it head on. What was it? What was the saying? Something like the greatest joy is like on the other side of fear. So that thing that's scaring you that you need to do, probably know what you need to do because you're scared to do it. You don't want to do it because it might mean that you have to do something you just really don't want to do. So it'd be a good idea to just face it head on and get it over with. It's kind of like if there's a storm coming, do you run away from the storm or run to it? And the best thing to do really is to run towards it because it's not going to last long, and it's going to be less energy than if you try to run away from it and then it finally catches up with you. Then you're not going to have the energy to be able to fight off and survive it. So face it head on and get it over with, and then move on to the next challenge that's going to come because you live, and in life things happen. All right, the fourth thing that I picked up from this book is that don't let negative influence or people bring you down. And there's a saying that I seen a while ago that says you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you. And it basically means I can't change the people, behavior, attitudes that are around me. However, I can go and be around other people that are of the same mindset as myself. So they're already that way. I don't have to change them. I just need to put myself around them. So I can't change those people around me, but I can change the influences around me. So you want to surround yourself with people who are positive and speak encouraging things. If you're always around people that's always negative and they're just talking down or gossiping, you don't want to be around that environment. If you say you want to be at a certain place in life or reach certain goals, you want to be around people that can help you reach those goals. So, that could be maybe you read books, look at videos, get coaches, mentors, accountability partners, things like that. So make sure you put yourself around people who are positive influences. Read and take in content that is positive in nature so it can help you flourish as an individual and reach your goals. The fifth one here is that you don't want to always focus on temporary pleasure or instant gratification. Sometimes you got to play the long game. So you may want to, they got people that's going out all the time, partying, having fun, and they're like, oh, you only live once. That's fine. But if you do that forever or for a long time, then you find yourself later in life regretting it, because now when you should have been kind of cruising and relaxing, now you're working hard. They're actually working harder because you wasted all that time at the beginning. Now, once you know better, you can do better. So if you haven't started, it's time to start right now. Doing the things that you need to do. One of the quotes I heard from Dr. Miles Monroe was, if you choose what's easy, your life will be hard. And if you choose what's hard, your life will be easy. I wish I had heard that back in high school and college, early years. But, we do what other people are doing sometimes. And then you learn, once you learn to do better, you have to start actually doing better. So that's number 5. Number 6. Let's see. Don't let your negative inner voice convince you that you're not good enough to achieve your goals. And those are ants. Automatic negative thoughts. And most people have these beliefs in them. And it's really funny because there's another book that I read called The 4 Agreements, and they talk about how the society actually is really good at programming people. So if you really think about sometimes those negative thoughts in your mind aren't you talking to yourself. It could be that caregiver that was talking to you when you're really small, telling you how hard math is, or you can't do that, or that's not going to work. And then you internalize that at a young age, and as you start trying to be more successful and do things later in life, you start hearing that voice again, and you kind of think it's yours. A lot of times it's not. So, this is where you would want to reframe all those negative thoughts when you're trying to do something. If you're trying to run a marathon and somebody, you're telling yourself, oh, I can't do that. You can reframe it like, well, I can't run a marathon yet. What do I need to do in order to run the marathon? And then you put down a plan of action to actually make sure you can put yourself in position to run the marathon. And then that ant goes away and you can reach that goal. So you want to do this with all of them. Sit down and just think about those negative thoughts that you keep saying to yourself and reframe them so that they can turn to a positive plan of action. So the last one here is just remembering that we have the strength and ability to overcome, challenges and issues that life may bring to us. You just have to make sure that you work at being consistent, have a definite plan of action, listen to yourself in a positive way, create a plan, and really try to understand how to stay on your purpose and just stay consistent. And you can overcome a lot of the challenges that are faced in life and become successful and reach your goals. So those were the 7 principles, 7 tips that I read through the book, and it was really really good read. I listen to this book probably every couple months just to keep it in my head. And like I said, I got the hard copy right here because I like looking at the words sometimes. So when I'm in the car or walk in, I have my headphones on, I'll listen to it on the radio in my car just to keep it going and just take it in. But then I have the book here because I do like to actually see the words from time to time. So hopefully this helps somebody. Comment below if it did, and what specific thing may have resonated with you. Like and share. Talk to you all later. Peace out.